but there's a divinity involved that I think a lot of the time we don't really talk about in light language activation videos or light language transmissions. And it's not that we need to, really. This is just a class where I promised I would give you more details, yes? Because when light language is spoken, it is like a direct line energetically to the divine. Do I listen to everyone who speaks light language? No. I listen to very few people who speak light language. I'm very, very mindful of the energetic alignments I allow for my being. But there's a divinity involved in the being, any being, period, that is organic. I have to add that because now we have a lot of beings that are artificial. And so I just need to add that because we live in a time consciously and technology wise where it's a bit of a different world. So organic beings are connected in with the origination point and source. And when we have light language coming through, we have information coming through. When you have light language coming in, or you hear someone that you connect with mindfully and you feel you like the energy, and they're speaking light language, there's energy, there's information in that energy. That's what energy is, it's information. And so when you hear it, you can understand it from your consciousness because you're energy. And it will shift, heal, expand, clear the energy it comes in contact with. You could say it's God in word format. You could say it's source in words. Another really big thing I love about light language is I really believe in frequency and sound make a huge difference in energy healing. And there's some quotes by I think it's Nikola Tesla or like Einstein or maybe all of them, where they said if we could understand frequency and vibration and sound, we would have the keys to the universe. And so I really love the understanding of light language in all of its various forms is sound in those various forms. And I believe in vibrational healing. I do vibrational healing even before I knew I was doing vibrational healing. And you guys know this because some of you here have been here with me since I stepped out and brought my gifts to everyone that was feeling aligned. But I used to hold sessions where I'd sit on the couch over there. I didn't sit here. Some of you know this. You remember the TV table holding my computer and me sitting over there. And I would just hold notes too. Like I would talk and teach and do different things. And then all of a sudden I'd just tone. And I would speak languages of light. The vibration in those tones, in those sounds, in those words, in those syllables, in those phrases is the energy of the divine. It is the energy of the divine. The higher you raise your consciousness, the more you are going to understand and feel and embody this knowing, because you cannot exist in that alignment of consciousness void of the divine. And that's why I'm the oddball. But I like my oddball ways because I understand science-based energy. Focus expands, anchoring through thought and energetic alignment. And I understand miracles. And I see no separation in those two spaces. Why they were separated, in my humble opinion, and this connects in with light language as well, because I think light language has been kind of banished from humanity for a purpose, because it's powerful and it will free humanity. Free humanity from what? What is she talking about? The cycles and the behavior traits that most humans live in are not by chance. They're embedded and programmed by purposeful intent. It's not by chance. You didn't just come out with these go-to ways of being. So when your being begins to remember its light languages, in whatever way they're coming through, not everybody speaks light language. Some people only sign. Some people only tone or sing. Some people paint it, draw it. It's all a way of conveyance. All of these are various ways of imparting it to others. And they're all as equally powerful. There's not one that's better than another. And everyone receives in different ways. So allow that space as well. But allow yourself to understand light language doesn't ask anyone to believe any specific religion or hold an anchor in any scientific method. What light language asks, if you will, per se, it doesn't really ask, right? But when we align with that and open the door to that space of ourselves, we're coming from releasing the attachment or judgment on any of these spaces and just allowing us right where we're at, wherever your at is, because every single at is different. And that's why it's so beautiful. And even in the Bible, when it happened in the book of Acts, and it happened other places as well, but the day of Pentecost, they call it, and the Spirit of the Lord fell. That's called the Holy Spirit in the teachings of the scriptures. You know, if you've never experienced that, or you are even maybe in a religion that is outside of Christianity, or maybe you are atheistic or more science-based or more New Age-based, it doesn't matter. I want to ask you a question, no matter where you are. Maybe you've been all of them. Have you ever had that moment where you felt an immense amount of love that was beyond what you would consider regular human love? And you just knew with everything in you, you were tapping into something extremely beautiful. If you've ever had that moment, that would be what I would choose to say, a connective understanding of what it feels like when the Holy Spirit falls upon. And at the same time, you don't have to be a Christian to experience. That's a man-made idea. That's a theological, dogmatic teaching that takes on the Holy of Holies and then says it's only for and if this. You can't do that with God. You can't do that with Source. That's why there are people in churches that have miracles. And there are people in churches that don't. It's not about does God love them or not love them. It's about their energy, their faith, and their space of their journey and what is optimal for them in that very moment. And light language embodies this divinity and also connects into every space the being has ever been. Now, I've stood with some of you who are here right now in person. We did the Destin event gathering in May of this year. And I held your hands and we stood in ankle deep in the ocean waters of the Gulf of Mexico, in one of my favorite moments. And I went to each person and held hands and just allowed a blessing that was coming through, an understanding, information, energy through my words. And those of you who were there and are here now, you know what I'm talking about. I did not speak the same in front of each person. Every single, and there was like 10 or 11 of you there. And every single person, there was a different sounding dialect coming out of my mouth. that was because it was each individual person's space of connection they could hear and receive at utmost and highest. And every single one of those spaces or languages is a space of the divine. So there's a really beautiful thing happening, I believe. And I believe it's connected to spaces of both, or even more. There's more than two. It's not just religion and spirituality or metaphysics or New Age. It's not just those. There's so many other spaces, yes. But I think what's happening is the human consciousness is rising up above these spaces. Even what we could see as the most beautiful, spiritual-based, higher conscious understandings. We're passing that, divine ones. I mean, that's just how this is. And it's natural. It's natural. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing to be scared about or to long for or miss. It's okay to feel all those things and acknowledge them and just keep moving, right? Be the wave, not the form. But what we're doing is we're coming in at a level now where even the way in which we understand light language is at a higher vibrational space of connection. And in that space of connection, we are dropping the separation factor that says, you can't call it the Holy Spirit, that's religious. Well, you can't call it speaking in tongues, that's religious. Or it's only star languages. It's never divine. It's just star beings. It's higher dimensional communications only. They are a part of Source. Star ones come from Source as human ones come from Source. So there's an understanding that's available to everyone who's even, wants to entertain it or embody it or however, what degree you like. That everything is energy. Light language is energy in spoken format and or written or signed, sung. And that energy is information. If we will allow ourselves to get these understandings, I think it's going to open up the door for a lot of people who are having a hard time with light language. I think it's because there's all these old kind of blocks, if you will, or spaces of belief structures that aren't really a wave format flow. They're more of a condensed version of a belief structure that doesn't allow for the expansiveness. So as we and many others allow the understanding of this, we open the door to the information embedded within your DNA. It is you at your very core, and you just haven't looked at that space of your program yet, because you have been given the training to look at the programs that would keep you, if you will, in cycled spaces of not understanding your expansion and your expansiveness. So the programs you even choose to look at are now very different, because you understand there's a program there waiting for your connectivity. It's within your cells, it's within your DNA, it's within your blood, it's within your breath, it's within your marrow, it's within your bones, it's within your tissues, your muscles. It is a blueprint of the divine, anchoring into human format as the human rises into the next space of itself. It is the way of, it is the bridge of, it is the step of the ascension process. Trust yourselves with your languages of light. Trust yourselves and just allow. Rewatch this video if you feel to. Contemplate Source, the divine, Holy Spirit, Yeshua, your guardians, Buddha, Krishna, whatever your spiritual connectivity is beautiful. But really taste it. Inhale it. Connect with it, embody it, and watch what happens, because that is holiness. And holiness then expands, and everything connected to that divinity expands, which is the way you see yourself, the way you feel about yourself, the way your world is, the way you speak, the language you were born into in this human form, and the languages from your soul. But this is a new level, Divine Ones, and your consciousness is ready to embody and be the divine. Thank you so much for being here, Holy Divine Ones. Thank you unendingly. I love you. I love you. I love you. Unending blessings upon you, Holy Ones. Unending. Thank you all for writing in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So much love here. Thank you, Doreen, Sonal, Nadine, Mada. Thank you so much. Blessings, Divine Ones. Yaratukuanea, Tanei Yanasawa, Tora Kakiana Tea, Tasura, Tasura, Tasura.